We stand once more at the threshold in anticipation of another enlightening and successful conversation. We are here, prepared to address your concerns. So whenever you are ready, you may begin.
Thank you so much for being here today. If I may ask, what actually happens in the moment of physical death from your perspective?
It is not easy to describe for you in terms that you can experientially understand, but at the moment you, as a soul, make the decision to free yourself from the limitations of the physical form, we would say you could liken it to an explosion of light spreading forth in all directions, like a magnificent explosion of joy as you experience a reunification with the part of you that was forgotten when you made the decision to come into human form. You find yourself in a place of peace, yes, but indeed also there is a welcoming that comes to you from those with whom you did this incarnational dance. There is great joy and a mighty celebration. It is only after this that you turn your awareness to the place you just left. And then in those moments you may feel wistful. But overall, at the moment of your exit from the bonds of limitation of the physical body, the experience at the level of the soul is one of expansion and joy. And there is a lightness and a freedom that is impossible to experience while your awareness is grounded in the physical. It is challenging to find words to adequately describe that instantaneous transformation from one state of matter to another. We would liken it to when you put a pot of water on a stove and turn the heat on underneath it. Eventually the water begins to boil, and then at some point that threshold is crossed and the water boiling in the pot becomes a cloud of steam. This is the best analogy that we could give you to describe the experience of the energy that is released at the time of that exit or that translation from one state of matter to another. We hope this is helpful to you.
Yes, thank you so much for sharing. How uniform or varied is the death transition across different individuals and belief systems?
The fundamental experience is by and large the same. There is this release of energy. However, you are as well consciousness, and therefore somewhat bound by the parameters of whatever your belief system is while you are incarnated. There will be a transition from this world to the next, from this state of being to the next. But for some, where you go is different, is a different experience from others who have a different model of what you call heaven, or this other side metaphor that is often used. It would depend. You would find your awareness in that place, at least in the first moments of that transition. It is, we would say, like a buffer zone that allows you to stabilize your frequency before settling into this greater level of expansiveness once more. You have this time of adjustment, and usually that flows from whatever your belief system was, the parameters of what that would look like. You do indeed create for yourself as you make that transition. Then once you have settled in energetically and vibrationally speaking and have stabilized at this new frequency level, then other aspects of the greater reality open to you, and a whole new learning experience then begins for you. So, in summary, we would say that original initial expansive feeling is similar across the board to all who experience that transition. Where the soul finds itself, that spark of consciousness finds itself once it's made that leap, for indeed it is a leap, it is a quantum leap in your consciousness, you would land in a place that would be familiar to you so that you can acclimate yourself to your literally new reality.
Thank you. How do our expectations or fears about death shape our post-death experience, if at all?
For some, we would say that which you are calling that fear of death, that fear of the loss of consciousness or existence, is generated by the impermanent part of your self, by the personality level of your being. And this fear can impact that transition, but not as much as you would possibly believe. For the power of the soul at the moment of transition overrides most of your pre-programming, we would say, overrides that. And then you become engulfed in the experience, and your awareness shifts in that moment, and you have clarity and understanding, and there is no more fear. So we would say the greatest enemy to what you would call a peaceful transition probably is that very human fear of losing the personality aspect of oneself and the connection to this world, for you feel, if you carry that fear, that this world is actually your reality, when, as many of you know, it is not. This is a creation, a, a creation of limitation, so that you could experience limitations and how one's thought systems and beliefs can restrict how you as a consciousness express yourself in the world. So we would say to you, the fear is more prevalent and has more impact on the individual prior to the moment of transition than it does after the fact. So we would say, with the final breath that leaves the body, as the soul leaves the body, also the fear goes with it. So that when there is the move to the next level of experience, there is only joy, there is only light, there is only peace, there is only welcome. For indeed, in that moment, you will recognize that you have once again returned home.
Thank you. That's beautiful. What is the most helpful for the dying and the grieving to know about this transition?
We would say that it is understood prior to coming into incarnation that there will be this transition that will take place that constitutes a change in your form. We would also say that the very clear and core truth of this process is that you are now and always will be connected through the bonds that you have created between yourselves as souls. Even if you do not consciously recognize that you are simply part of a greater whole, you can rely upon the understanding that it is a natural part of being. It is a natural part of the process of experiencing this cycle of life. You left your home in order to birth yourself into a place of limitation, and you are simply reversing the process. You are leaving here, this place that you feel is your home, in order to return to the place from which you came. And so, if it would be possible for you to perceive the transition from physical back to soul, as far as the place of orientation for your consciousness, for that is the fundamental difference where the consciousness is located as far as its point of awareness. It moves now from a place of limitation anchored in a physical body. It will move back to that place where you look at things from the perspective of your soul. And there is no such thing as goodbye. There is only we will be together once more at the same level of awareness, for that is the only differentiation between you and someone that you love who is making a transition. You may perceive it as a separation or a no longer you are together, but it is simply a shift in the point of awareness, of perspective, from which each of you is now functioning. So you are not losing your connection with each other. It is simply a change in form. And knowing that from the perspective of eternity, the time that you are perceived to be apart from each other is momentary at best.
Thank you so much. Your words will help many souls heal and transition. So thank you so much. And it's nice to know that we're always connected through the heart and the soul. Is there any last words that you would like to share today on the transition?
We are pleased to see that finally humanity has come to a place in their own evolution of consciousness where such a matter has become the forefront of a topic of conversation that is leading to, number one, a heightened curiosity about the process itself, as well as a desire for understanding, more clarity about how this whole thing you call creation works. We are grateful that you allowed us to share our perspective on the matter, and we look forward to further conversation. But for now, as always, as we begin to withdraw, we say to you, be at peace.
Many thanks.
Well, that's our time for today. If you would like to reconnect with your friends and loved ones in spirit, please go to my website at juliamarie.us and click the Book Now button on the homepage.